Hi, Mister. How are you? My name is Daniel Flores, and I am going to present to you my lesson plan number 19 from my second term report. The topic is adjectives ending with ing and ed. Now, first, my four objectives from this lesson plan are the following. First, listening. My listening objective is understand the intonation used in adjective ending in ing and ed. Then, the speaking objective is respond to adjective ending ing and ed. And in reading, they got to understand the form of adjective ending in ing and ed. And in writing, my writing objective is use. They use it. They apply the adjective ending with ing and ed. So, in the next part, I chose two methodologies and two strategies in my lesson plan. The two methodologies that I used were the following. Number one, personalized learning high tech. What does it mean? That teachers offer some traditional instructions as well as online materials, while also continually reviewing student progress. Remember that nowadays we are living in difficult times. So we are not allowed to go or to have face-to-face classes. That's why we're having virtual classes. So it is important this methodology, because it helps to us to realize that we have to look for information on the internet. The second methodology is student-centered to approach to learning. That means that students assume a much more active role in the learning process. The days that the teacher talk during the class are over. We live in days that we are a guide for our students. They got to assume a much more active role in the class. That's why I picked this methodology. Strategy number one, computer games. As I have said in all my lesson plans, I think that educational computer games can be purchased for students to explore concepts. They can explore concepts by playing games or by doing exercise online. They can do it. And the other strategy is learning log. That means that students write responses to teachers' questions about what they have learned or what they don't understand. It creates a good environment, an environment of confidence. that they can freely express their doubts about the topic. That's why I used this strategy. And I have succeeded in this. I have a great success. That's why I use it. In the next part of my lesson plan is the anticipatory set. In this part, I write 5 sentences with ed and ing, form of the verbs, on the whiteboard of Zoom. Remember that I use the whiteboard of Zoom a lot because Zoom is a platform very simple to use. It's simple and it's it's free to download. So it helps. It helps a lot. So I let students make up a main sentence from the sentence given on the whiteboard. I help the students. Remember that this anticipatory set is just for catch their attentions, students' attention. In the next part, in the main teaching input, I played a video that contains adjectives ending in ing and ed, explanation, with the explanation, because they have to realize what they have seen before. Then I write a sentence on the whiteboard. Your speech was very inspiring. So I ask the students, is gerund or infinitive used in this sentence? And they have to answer. And I have to listen carefully their answers and focus students' attention on meaning the adjective ending in ing and ed. And I explain. After listening their answers, I explain that adjective that ends in ing is used to describe the characteristics of a person, a thing, or a situation. But an adjective that ends in ed is used to describe a feeling, or how a person feels, or an emotion. And they will learn this topic via guided discovery method. This is a wonderful method. In the next part, the modeling, have all students practice. Now, in this stage, students are going to continue working on solving grammar mistakes. As students work, pay attention at any time that they struggle and remember what they have saw and heard. During the reflection later, I've got to listen to my students and especially remind them that they've got the chance to work more through the challenging parts. They need to know that they are not allowed to give up because they always have to try. They always have to do their best. That's why it is important. We have an important role in this part because they have to know that we are there. In the guided practice in the next part, I present on the screen of Zoom the adjective ending with ing and ed worksheet in order to practice with the students and let them write their answers on the whiteboard of Zoom with my guideline. Remember, the teacher guideline, it is very important because they have to follow some rules. If we don't set rules in this part, they will do whatever they want. So that's why it is important, our role here. And we can tell our students that this activity will be more challenging if they try to do this exercise by their own. But if they don't want to do it by their own, it's okay. They will receive my help. In the independent practice, it is the stage that they have to do by their own. They have to. Because in this part, they got to construct sentence, either using gerund or infinitives, using punctuation accordingly. After that, I send a link to do an online exercise, and after completed, they got to send me a screenshot of their results in order to measure or in order to realize how well the topic is understood. That's why I always prefer that students send me their results to me by a screenshot. In the next part, I assess my students, and it is one of the, I think that this part it is the heaviest part, because it's time to evaluate all of them in a serious way. It doesn't mean that the previous activities weren't serious. No, yes, they were, but in this part they will receive qualification. The previously ones were just practice, but in this one they will receive qualification. So in this stage, students will be given by Zoom direct message the verbs that are followed by gerunds. I will give them the verbs that are followed by gerunds. For example, enjoy, avoid, suggest, etc. And the verbs that are followed by infinitives. For example, choose, forget, start, etc. Then they have to write two sentences using two verbs from each one. Two verbs from gerunds, two verbs from infinitives. And after making the sentences, they've got to take a picture of the written sentences, and again, they have to be sent to me. Okay? Because it is important that I monitor what they are learning, especially if the topic is understood. And in the last part from a lesson plan, the closing review and follow-up, just I show the grammar again. I show a grammar section again, and ask students to explain how we can make adjectives ending with ing and ed. And each student will have the opportunity to share with the class what he or she has understood by giving some examples. This part is amazing because some students that you couldn't believe that they have understood, yes, they can really do it. and they can express. I had a wonderful group during these all classes, the whole classes that I have taught. And these lesson plans have helped me a lot. I hoped that you liked this lesson plan number 19. Have a nice rest of the day, mister. Take care. Bye bye.